What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I don't know exactly how I titled it. I don't know exactly what I put in the thumbnail, but this video is a house overview over one of the best luxury niche brands that's independent that I've come across in a while. I gotta say, they have some diverse profiles here, and I have one specific favorite. And they reached out to me because they have a sale going 40% off all full products for 10 days starting the day this video goes out, so running 10 days beyond this. Not on samples, but which they do have samples. I would encourage sampling first, but you can get any of their bottles for 40% off. So I thought it was a pretty good sale. I do like the brand's work, so I said, sure, I'll make a video and check it out. Obviously, you don't need to purchase anything. It's just to make you aware. And we're going to cover their 3 cents because I have used some of these fragrances in blind smelling rates with some of my friends, and they always seem to deliver. So let's dive into these 3 chronologically. Stay tuned. So their initial release is called Sovereign. So Sovereign is a very interesting oud fragrance. So this is like signature scent worthy oud. It's got coconut, it's got fruits, it's got citruses, it's even got tobacco. Very unique blend, unlike anything else I've smelled. I'm actually gonna give it a spray here on the blotter, just because it's been a little while since I've worn it. It is actually my least favorite of the bunch, honestly, because I'm not looking to wear oud all the time. They do have another oud that is much more wearable in the warmer weather that we'll talk about in a little bit. But it never ceases to amaze me because it's got this tobacco leaf smell with coconut. And it's not the sunscreen type of coconut. It's more like a flesh of the coconut, not even a coconut water, that you get in the top with some fruits and citruses that give it this fresh, juicy feel to intensify that. And the oud here isn't funky. It's not animalic. If anything, it's a touch medicinal and does have a little bit of a pencil shaving feel to it, kind of that dry, woody feel with a hint of medicinal. Man, and there's an earthiness, yet it's fresh. So I'm saying it has this interesting blend of fragrances that create something so unique that's dense but not too heavy, fresh but definitely not light and airy. That's why I feel like the way it's blended and created makes for a unique signature scent for somebody that really wants to stand out, wear something of upper level luxury quality with really good performance. I mean, that's kind of the thing. Most people are looking for really good performance, and all of their scents deliver on that. And Sovereign, I think, was a great introduction for the brand to really set the tone for what they're trying to do. They're trying to tell stories. They're trying to create original blends with high quality oils that are masterfully done. And I just don't think they could have started with a better option here. It's not going to appeal to everyone. No fragrance is going to appeal to everyone, but specifically the person looking for a signature scent that's going to stand out, which who wants to wear the same thing as everyone? There's enough people doing that. So if you're looking to do so, this might be one worth sampling for you if you want a more wearable, easy to understand, easy to approach type of oud fragrance. It's an oud tobacco that is not too funky, earthy, or animalic in any way. All the other notes really kind of play off of one another to make this quite enjoyable and quite wearable. Again, not for everyone, but it's definitely worth a sample. This is their first release. This is Sovereign. Now their second release, this is my personal favorite. This one never disappoints. I love when I smell this fragrance. It's not the most complex fragrance. It's very straightforward. I'm a sucker for a great authentic plum fragrance, and Silent Night is that. There's fresh florals, there's a hint of pepper, there's amber and incense, all as subtle, nuanced, supportive characters. The main notes I get here is a fresh white floral feel, juicy plum that's not too sweet. It's not it's a more realistic biting into a plum type of aroma, that smell of that fresh bite into a plum, with a cedar wood that's not a sharp, cheap, crappy synthetic cedar wood. You know what I'm talking about. You've come across those cedar dominant, cheaper synthetic designers where it's off-putting for some. And certain fragrances are like that for me. I like cedar wood when it's a good cedar wood, a Virginia cedar wood, an Atlas cedar wood, that kind of stuff. I don't know specifically which one it is, but you can tell it's quality cedar wood, and it's dominant here. Again, amber incense, you get a little bit of citrus and black pepper as well, but the main things I get here is plum, cedar wood, and fresh florals. And it's very straightforward. It's cozy without being too warm and heavy. I'm a big fan of this one. You see how I perked up to talk about this one. This is my favorite. This is the one. If I was to recommend, they up their atomizers too. I got my ceiling fan so you really can't see, but they continue to improve from one release to the other. They improve their cap and they improve their atomizer from first release to second release. So this plum, it literally made my mouth water. This plum is delightful. If you're going to take my advice on trying one fragrance from them, let it be Silent Night. Silent Night is the one. Don't get me wrong, their newest release is really good too, and I'll explain to you why when we get to it in a moment, but Silent Night captivates me. This is one I'm pretty eager and excited to get on skin whenever the fall rolls around. It's not a good summer fragrance. This is not built for the heat, but milder fall weather on into cold winter weather, that is where this shines. Like I said, there's a coziness to this. There's a very inviting, magnetic feel to this to just kind of draw you into the wearer to want to keep smelling yourself and draw your significant other as well as others around you. They get a whiff of your sillage to want to know more. It's a very inviting aroma. I'm not going to say intoxicating because it's not like that seductive or the panty dropper that people are looking for. And I'm not saying it can't do those types of things, but I feel like it's very inviting and cozy and comforting to smell. It's like you're an easygoing person. You're very approachable if you're wearing something like this. That's the personality of the fragrance to me. That's the way I interpret it. And I just think it's their best release. I don't know when they'll top it. Maybe they eventually will, but so far, Silent Night, this is my favorite. Now, their newest release, this is called Rebirth. Look at the beautiful, like, aquatic tone to that label. So what's weird, straight up weird, but good weird to me about this, is it's a rose oud. You totally wear in the heat. This is a summer-ready rose oud. From the first time I smelled this, it perplexed me. It's like, how? How did they manage to pull this off? It's bright and aromatic. There's saffron here. Oh, man, that is so good. Because it's a jammy rose. And when I say jammy rose, some of you immediately think thick, heavy fragrance, right? Me too. Normally that's the case. It is a thick raspberry jelly-like rose texture. Sweet rose. And the oud matches it. It's that kind of oud rose, but it's fresh, a touch powdery, kind of has this breezy tone to it. The way these aromatic notes, they even list it as aromatic notes. It's more than just lavender. I don't know exactly what all is in there. And it's not super soapy, so it's not just lavender. It's probably sage and potentially aldehydes. It could be geranium. I don't know. There's a lot of notes that are aromatic. Pink pepper's aromatic, you know. I don't know, but what I can tell you is there's a hint of spice from some saffron, could be in the aromatic notes as well, but you definitely get a little bit of spice that kind of doesn't really warm things up, but definitely gives you a nice hit of spice in the opening that's not overwhelming or overbearing. I'll never understand how it manages to be so fresh. I just don't, because there's a little bit of fruitiness here. There's black currant. It's not super tart or real inky. It doesn't, with saffron and black currant, you might think metallic. Not really. I don't get metallic vibes or a cold, wet steel aroma from this one. It just manages to be airy, fresh, almost aldehydic. Ozonic is the better word I'm looking for here. Ozonic notes might even be in their aromatic note blend. It's very airy for being a rose oud, distinctive and dominant rose oud profile. It's honestly, because of how fresh it manages to be, the most unique rose oud I've ever smelled. I'm not saying it's the best rose oud I've ever smelled. I have picked a specific pick for that of a different brand, but this is the most unique and the most summer appropriate because I've never come across a dominant rose oud combo that I would recommend. Sure, wear it in the heat. It still feels weird to even say now to recommend that, but you can totally wear this one in the heat. Smoldering heat index of 115, maybe not, but clipping 100 degrees, if you're in and out, absolutely. In and out meaning indoors, outdoors, not just hanging out in the sun on the beach. Yeah, I wouldn't wear it to that. I definitely wouldn't do that. It's so interesting because it makes a strong case for being their most impressive fragrance because of the way the blend comes across. Honestly, it is their most impressive blend. I just prefer the way this smells specifically over it, but not by a wide margin. This is just a very impressive fragrance, and it shows the evolution of the brand from one scent to the next, and they're only 3 fragrances in and they continue to impress. So I would encourage getting some samples if you're not wanting to jump on the sale, but there is a sale running for 10 days. You have some time to think about it. Maybe I think the people that this would be best for to jump on this sale is if you've already sampled the house and you've been waiting for the right time to maybe add 1 or 2 of these to your collection. Well, now would be the time. It's almost half off. It's 40% off. So really good sale. I was very surprised when they told me what the sale was that they were running. I was like, yeah, it's pretty impressive, because some of you have heard me speak on these fragrances before. I've done live streams. I've featured them in list topics. They've been in weekly rotations, as well as blind smelling rate videos with my friends when I come across them. I like to throw this in there to get their opinions, and they always impress. And this is the most impressive. While I don't think it's the best smelling of the 3, Rebirth's the most impressive. Well, that's their 3 offerings from Maison Daba. Again, just sharing the information. Do not feel pressured in any way, shape, or form to run out and buy anything. But again, the people I would encourage to even consider the sale is anybody that's maybe sampled the house already, or you know what you like and you're looking to try something. I'm not encouraging any blind buying or anything. Still sample first if anything sounds interesting and you've never explored the house. That is the way to go. They do have samples for $10 on their website. Hint, hint, wink, wink, Silent Night. That's the one in my opinion. But if you want the most interesting rose oud I've come across personally, Rebirth would be the way to go. But definitely explore a little further for yourself. Do your own testing and be your own judge. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.